KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts.
It's so fantastic that we have such a supportive community that likes to hang out with us, support the military, and we just get to celebrate everything San Antonio, Fiesta, and military.
I've actually never been to Fiesta, to a parade. I'm relatively new to San Antonio, and everybody is so excited to come. It's a great group. Viva Fiesta!
Well, in case you missed it, thousands of people lined the banks of the San Antonio River Walk for the 79th annual Texas Cavaliers River Parade.
And right now on our website, you can see all the festivities, the sights, the sounds, and of course, all the floats. It's all on our homepage.
Well, Patty, the Fiesta Fun continues today. Niosa kicks off this afternoon over at La Villita. The four-night festival happening from 5:30 to 10:30 p.m. Tickets are $20.
Yeah, you can also check out the Ford Mariachi Festival. The event features student mariachis from local high schools and colleges, as well as local folklore groups and dancers of all ages. They perform on 6 boats that carry them along the Riverwalk. It all starts at 6 p.m.
And Coordination is this evening. This adult-oriented event features satirical performances based on current events. Proceeds benefit charities across San Antonio. The performances take place at 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. at Empire Theater at North St. Mary Street. You can find a complete Fiesta coverage on our website at KSAT.com. Well, good morning to you. It is Tuesday. It is April 23rd. Steph is off today, and Patty Santos is here today. You and I haven't worked together in years.
It's been a few years since I've woken up this early, but I'm back.
And I'm glad you're here this morning.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for waking up with us this morning. Did you wake up and feel like that breeze? And it was kind of chilly.
Yeah, not as cool as yesterday morning, but still pretty pleasant. Now, things start to change, according to Justin Horn, who's in for Mike.
Yes, it does. And we can see that with the clouds above. We've got clouds starting to roll in, and that's just kind of the first indication that we're going to see a little bit more moisture. And boy, that's going to make some big changes as we go forward in time. Get ready to sweat a little bit. I'll just put it that way. Let's first take a look at our forecast for today. Temperatures are going to be up near 77 degrees. And yes, we've got a cloud deck rolling in right now. I suspect that cloud deck will hang around for a few hours this morning and then break apart, and we'll get into some sun this afternoon. 77 in New Braunfels, 78 Lakey, 79 Hondo. Pretty nice day. I mean, considering this is April, so this is actually a little bit below average. But as I said, beyond this, it gets a little more steamy as we look at the forecast. With that humidity, that will start to come back in, especially tomorrow. And again, on Thursday, we'll start to see some drizzle and fog in the morning time, so that can make for some damp conditions. And then storm chances. We do have some there. There's small chances, especially on Friday and Saturday, which I know we've got some big parades going on. But I think our chances aren't that great. However, if we were to see a storm, it could be on the strong side, so that's why we need to watch it. And yes, the parades will be hot. We think heat indices may jump into the 90s by the weekend, if you can believe that. So all the things we have to look forward to. We're going to break this down in your 7-day forecast coming up here in just a couple minutes. Guys, how's traffic?
Not bad so far. RJ is not here today, so we are covering this as a team. And if you guys see anything special in the booth, please let us know. But right now, I'm checking the TxDOT website. It's showing just stalled vehicle at I-10 eastbound at Fresno. Things look really good there at I-37 and the Alamo Dome.
All right, a big story that we are following this morning. San Antonio is shutting down a secondary facility for migrants passing through the Alamo City.
That's right. Migrants with plane tickets had been brought to the Airport Transfer Center, or ATC, to wait for their flights. But the city is planning a change for next week.
Yeah, Garrett Berringer looks at what this means for the city.
The city of San Antonio has said it's been using this building at the edge of the airport since last May. But in a memorandum to council members last week, the city manager said they'll be shutting it down May 1st.
It's a mix of stretching dollars and not needing the facility as much. Between December and March, migrant arrivals fell off 77%. Councilman Mark White, who was against the ATC in the first place, is glad to see it go.
The fact that we're contracting what we're doing in this regard, I think is a good thing.
White also wants to see the city get rid of its Migrant Resource Center. He says it's an issue of public safety and resources, and questions the wisdom of having it in the first place.
I think it has acted as a magnet for these folks to come to San Antonio. Is that something that we really want?
But White is very much the minority on council. In a recent discussion, nearly every council member indicated they want to keep the MRC open. Councilwoman Sook Kaur, whose district includes the facility, says migrants were already coming through San Antonio before the city ever stood up the MRC.
I think this MRC needs to continue as long as we have this community that's coming through San Antonio.
The city has used federal reimbursements to pay for it so far. Spokesman says the city has enough to last through October before it needs to dip into another $3 million in federal money it just got, and it plans to apply for more. But the MRC is actually run by Catholic Charities, which gets its own funding straight from the feds. We reached out to ask about what the current funding situation has meant for their ability to operate the MRC, but a spokeswoman said they had no comment. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Time now 5:05, 60 degrees.
Still to come, Google is working on another phone update, what they're hoping to fix in your morning tech bites.
And the summer travel season is just around the corner. Just ahead, why experts say travelers may soon see more deals.
And you're taking a live look outside with live cam. Look, great weather, 60 degrees. You might need a little light jacket, but the traffic looks pretty good out there if you're heading out.
In this morning's GMA First Look, as people plan their summer vacations, we're breaking down where to find the best deals.
I'm ready to party!
Airlines like Delta projecting a record summer travel season, and analysts say that with an expansion of budget airline routes, that means more competition, which means travelers could see more deals. Another factor working in their favor, an easing of the post-pandemic revenge travel trend.
Prices are down from where they were when we just had that boom out of the pandemic. We're closer to 2019 pre-pandemic than we were the last couple of years.
Flight booking app Hopper predicts fares for flights to Europe will be down 10% from last year. And coming up at 7 a.m., more tips on when to book. With your GMA First Look, I'm Becky Worley, ABC News, Oakland, California.
Faces of Fiesta is powered by your local San Antonio area Chevy dealers.
Hi, my name is Michael Quintanilla, and I am known as Mr. Fiesta!
Meet Michael Quintanilla, a Fiesta fashionista who's become a familiar face around the Fiesta scene. So, how did he get his nickname?
It happened when I was in the newsroom at the San Antonio Express News. I would wear these hats, I would make these hats, go into the men's room, and then I'd burst out into the newsroom with a hat and a costume on. And my good friend Ben Olivo coined the name Mr. Fiesta. You are now christened Mr. Fiesta.
Mr. Fiesta is hard to miss with his boisterous personality, matched only by his equally lively outfits, filled with colorful ribbons, flowers, and medals. But it's the hats that Quintanilla is best known for.
I must have like around maybe 15 hats now. I know some people who make hats, they reinvent the same hat over and over again. I like to save my hats because I can bring them out, every few years and they look fresh and new to anybody.
Mr. Fiesta is ready for festivities and says he'll be pushing the boundaries of fashion for many fiestas to come.
I'm never really done making anything until it's overdone. When I'm working on a hat or shoes or a costume, I know there's a lot of stuff on it, but no, I can always add one more thing, 2 more things, 5 more things. So when it's overdone, that's when I'm done.
KSAT's David Hurtado wears it well, too.
Yeah, I saw that crown. You saw that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I wonder how much hot glue goes into those things.
Quite a bit. And Michael, maybe I'll see you at Battle Flowers on Friday. Right now, 5:11, 60 degrees.
All right, let's take a look outside. We're checking around. Everything looks good. Traffic looks good if you're heading out this morning.
Are you certain you can fix that? Yeah, clip here and there. Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of Lisa, Joshua, Robin, Haley, and Josh. 4 Imprint promo product experts dedicated to working with you, for you, every step of the way. Make certain your logo, your organization, and you shine. That's the certainty of 4imprint.com.
4Imprint, for certain.
The NFL Draft. You've been working towards this moment your entire life.
JJ McCarthy with a milestone victory.
No matter where you're headed, the journey to greatness starts here.
Time to get this show started, Detroit.
Want to know a secret? More than just my armpits stink.
Facts. That's why I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant for clinically proven odor protection everywhere. So I smell great all day, all hike, and all night.
Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
In today's Tech Bites, another update for Google Pixel phones. A new operating system is rolling out for Verizon customers with Pixel 7 phones or newer models meant to fix problems with missing phone calls and texts. Verizon users can get it by tapping System Update under Settings. People with other carriers will have to wait a few weeks. Meta is spreading the tech wealth with its VR headsets. The company announced the operating system called Horizon OS will work on devices other than the Quest, including upcoming models by Asus, Lenovo, and Microsoft. An Xbox variant is also on the way. And finally, Tinder is making it easier to share details of your date with family and friends. The new Share My Date feature includes the where, when, and who you're going out with. Your family and friends will even get a photo of your match along with a link to their profile. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Allison Kosick. Have a great day.
Well, we're a neighborhood. Yes, we know our neighbors. And you can tell worker bees, and you can tell tourists, and you can tell residents.
Nobody's defined by the things that they own.
Affordable housing is an issue in our community.
People go through hard times. People go through struggles.
It's a mess. Yeah, it's a lot of construction going on.
Sidewalks are closed. Some roads are closed right now.
I know it's pretty unavoidable, but the construction.
We'd like for it to be done and so we can get around a lot easier.
It gets hectic at times. You know, I understand the reason for it, but it's been quite some time navigating.
You have to know that you're going to hear the rambling of the Spurs winds downtown, down Commerce Street. Yeah. You're going to hear the horns of Fiesta for 2+ weeks. San Antonians love to party. Downtown isn't just for tourists anymore. It is a place where people work, live, and play.
So it is our neighborhood, but it's everybody's place to come.
Downtown's looking good. Well, right now on our website, you can see all the episodes of Know My Neighborhood, and we want to hear from you. Let us know what neighborhoods we should visit and why we should visit them. It's all on ksat.com/knowmyneighborhood.
All right, checking in back with you. You think things are going to get pretty ugly later?
Well, sticky. That's kind of the theme of the forecast going forward. And I know that's not what people want to hear for Fiesta, but as we said yesterday, people are going to party no matter what. We are going to look at TransGuide though first real quick and look at anything going on traffic-wise. I don't think there is anything going on.
No, we're looking good so far for a Tuesday morning.
It's been pretty quiet. We know things will pick up here soon. But all in all, pretty good. That's I-37 in Alamo Dome. Always love that shot, by the way. Beautiful shot of downtown, which we just saw some beautiful shots in the Know My Neighborhood story there, which we're excited to see. All right, let's go back over to the forecast. And yeah, this is the theme. As I said, humidity increasing, dew points starting to jump up into the 50s. Look, that's not bad, okay, but it's showing the trend because we had lower dew points yesterday, and now we're starting to see these numbers rise. And that means eventually we're going to climb into that muggy territory, and you'll start to feel it the next couple of days. So here's the dew point forecast. Actually, as early as, say, tonight into tomorrow morning, you're going to see these dew points jump up into the mid-60s, and that's where you start to really feel it. That's where we could start to see some drizzle, some fog. So everything's kind of changing on us. Before we get there, though, boy, Niosa looks good. River Parade last night, could it have been any better? I don't think so. Tonight's pretty good for Niosa, too. 76 at 6 o'clock, 74 8 p.m., 70 at 10 p.m. Partly cloudy skies. It should be really, really nice. Now, this is the change. So as we get into tomorrow, we're forecasting a high of 83. This red color here represents the air temperature. We'll be in the mid-80s by Thursday and Friday, possibly close to 90 on Saturday. But look what happens when you factor in the humidity. This is what it feels like. You've got temperatures in the upper 80s, perhaps heat indices in the 90s by Saturday. So flambeau, yeah, a little steamy. You know that, of course, it's at night, so that helps us. But all this heat and humidity, will that lead to some thunderstorms? That's the big question. I think there is a slight chance of that as we get into the weekend. Right now, though, just cloudy. We've got a cloud deck that has rolled in an indication that that moisture is increasing. 61 right now, 54 in New Braunfels, 57 Boerne, 58 in Kerrville. And here's the big picture. A little bit of rain and snow up across the Great Lakes. Otherwise, this is a pretty quiet scenario for now across the country. So what changes? Here comes our low. This is one that's going to be a big severe weather maker for the country. Not necessarily for us, but for the plains as we get into Thursday and Friday. We see a dry line setting up across West Texas. So by Thursday afternoon, we're going to get some storms out across say the Permian Basin up into parts of the Texas Panhandle. These storms could be strong to severe. Then as this storm system progresses east, we're going to get a line of storms along this dry line. Now, the risk of severe weather is highest up across parts of Oklahoma and North Texas. Per usual, we are on the tail end of things, but there could be just enough there to get a few storms going Friday night. If, and this is a big if, we got storms to develop, then they could be strong. It definitely bears watching, of course, because we have a lot going on. But right now we've got rain chances at 20% both Friday and Saturday. We'll bump it up to 30% on Sunday. But anytime during that time frame, we could see a strong storm or two. And we'll certainly let you know if that unfolds. Otherwise, the small rain chances you see Wednesday, Thursday, that's for some morning drizzle, which is entirely possible next couple of days as that humidity increases. Temperatures, as we showed you, really warm up, and the overnight lows do too. I mean, we're back up near 70 because of all of that humidity. This feels a lot more like the April and May that we're used to. We were kind of spoiled last night, and I guess for the most part today, but it all changes.
Yeah, it could not ask for better Fiesta weather, right?
It was so nice. I knew at some point Mother Nature would say, no. Got to bring the humidity back, right?
We're only going to give you a couple days. That's it.
Right.
Enjoy it while you can.
Some of you have to sweat. Thank you, Justin. Talk to you in a bit.
Right, thanks, Justin. The time right now, 5:22, 60 degrees out there.
Let's take a look at all your lottery numbers this morning. Pick 3, 814, Fireball 8, Daily 4, 1961, Fireball 0. Your cash 5 numbers, 2, 9, 24, 30, 31, Texas 2-step, 2, 7, 15, 21 with a bonus ball of 15. Powerball is tomorrow night. Here are the last numbers. The jackpot for tomorrow night is $129 million bet. Hey, back up to tonight, Mega Millions up to $202 million.
I don't know anything about saving worlds, but you do.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero. You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man.
There's a world to be saved and mayhem to be managed in the latest trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine. There's more that we can't show you. The trailer is for mature audiences only, and it's the first R-rated movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Deadpool and Wolverine opens in theaters July 26th.
Phoebe Spangler, you stay inside this car. I have a ghost to bust.
McKenna Grace is going from Ghostbusters' Frozen Empire to a film with fewer nuclear accelerators. Variety reports she's set to star in the young adult drama Everything I Never Did, as a seriously ill young woman who connects with a troubled teen. Filming is expected to begin later this year. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And a good morning to you, just shy of 5:30. It is Tuesday, April 23rd.
We're so glad that you're starting your morning with us, and if you're stepping outside, you're going to get ready for a little chilliness.
Yeah, you know, it's nice to see temperatures like this time of year. We're still at 60, which is not as cool as yesterday, but still really good for April. This all changes going forward. So, you know, go outside, soak it in. For as long as you can. And here's what I'll tell you, for heading out to Nyosa tonight, which I know a lot of people are, it's the opening night, weather's great. 76 degrees at 6 o'clock, 74 at 8 p.m., 70 at 10 p.m. We'll see partly cloudy skies. We had a great river parade last night. Nyosa's looking equally as nice if you're planning on heading out, getting some good food and partying tonight. Pollen count. This was yesterday's. Molds are moderate at 740. Pecan is moderate at 100. These numbers aren't too bad, but molds may be bugging you a little bit after that rain. These numbers should go down in time. Here's our forecast today. Now, we are going to start off cloudy. We've got a cloud deck coming through right now. That's going to keep us overcast for at least a few hours this morning. And then those clouds break up and we get some sun by noontime, 69, and then by the afternoon, we're up around 77 today. So a little bit warmer than yesterday. We were at 74 yesterday. Partly cloudy, as I said, during the afternoon. But this all changes. We're going to start to see some 80s and humidity and maybe some rain chances too. Some thunderstorms that we're going to have to watch potentially as we head into the weekend. We'll time that out for you with your Fiesta forecast coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, let's take a look outside your traffic authority. Taking a look at I-37 and Alamo Dome downtown, looking great. We're checking TransGuide right now. No accidents to report, so you should have a very good commute this morning so far. Now to your morning medical news. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has issued a public safety alert for ground beef possibly contaminated with E. coli. The department says the ground beef products from Greater Omaha Packing Company tested positive with E. coli. The items in question were produced last month and have a use or freeze by date of April 22nd. Now, no recall is needed because the ground beef had already been pulled from circulation, but anyone with these products should return them to the place of purchase. So far, there's been no reports of related illnesses.
Many doctors tell their patients, hey, eating more fruits and vegetables is great for your health. What isn't so good? The residue of pesticides sprayed on produce. It can wind up in your body. The produce that proved most problematic, conventionally grown versions of blueberries, bell peppers, potatoes, green beans, kale, and mustard greens, also watermelons. So the question is, what can you do?
You don't need to totally eliminate higher risk foods from your diet. Remember that the risk, even from the most concerning produce, comes from exposure during vulnerable times, such as pregnancy or early childhood, or from repeated and years-long exposure.
For the most problematic produce like green beans and blueberries, they suggest buying organic. Nearly all of the organic produce they looked at had low pesticide risk. Back to Fiesta on this Tuesday morning, kicking off today, night in Old San Antonio or Niosa. This morning we are sharing everything you need to know to get ready for the fan favorite event.
And as you can imagine, people are excited, but they're also concerned about high prices and road construction.
KSAT's John Paul Barajas reports for many, the party will go on.
The 2024 Fiesta festivities fun keeps on rolling. And there's tons of reasons why people keep coming back for more.
Our families are the tradition, all the parties, all the parades.
But this year's downtown celebrations have not been without its challenges.
One of the many joys of Fiesta is all the flair, the bright and festive colors. But the bright colors of these white and orange construction barriers have dominated this year's events, which is why the city is trying to help Fiesta goers navigate with this QR code that you'll find on the ground. But even so, many people say it's not much help.
It's not very clear at all. Like, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
It is definitely crazy. Like, we tried to get an Uber a few days ago, and trying to find a spot where they could actually get to and actually meet us at was kind of difficult.
And once you get through all the construction surrounding Niosa, there's other concerns. This viral post of drink prices at other Fiesta events.
Somebody posted a sign of a 32-ounce margarita that was $20.
No way. Wow. No. Oh my God. Okay, that's crazy. I wouldn't pay $20 for a margarita. I would just pregame at home.
Niosa Chairman Rose Moran says the prices vary depending on the event, and that this year's Niosa prices will be the same as last year's.
My dad's tortillas are $6. The beer is $7. Most everything is going to be between $3 and $7, $8.
Still, those at the party say, challenges or not, they're still going to Fiesta.
We're definitely going to be back, so we love it.
Down to Fiesta.
Yeah.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, well, we will be at Niosa later today. It kicks off this afternoon at La Villita. The 4-night event happens from 5:30 to 10:30 p.m. Tickets are $20. You can find all things Fiesta on KSAT.com. You ready?
I'm ready.
Me too.
Pre-gaming, she said.
Yes, and I'm getting ready for Battle of Flowers on Friday. It's gonna be here like that.
It's exciting.
I've got to take my binder of scripts home and start looking through, make sure nothing big has changed this year.
And you need one of those hats.
I do need one of those hats.
Yeah.
A little cover for the sun. 5:34, 60 degrees on your Tuesday morning.
Taking a look outside right now, we are keeping an eye on traffic, and we have good news. Everything looks good and clear out there. No accidents to report. We'll be right back.
538, the city of Baltimore is suing the owner and manager of that ship that crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge last month, leading to the bridge's collapse and the deaths of 6 people. The ship is owned by Grace Ocean Private Limited and managed by Synergy Marine Pte Limited. The mayor and city council filed a claim just yesterday. It accuses both companies of providing the vessel with an incompetent crew that lacked proper skill and training.
New details in the nation's homelessness crisis. This morning, the Supreme Court appears to open to allowing cities and towns to criminally punish homeless people. At issue, whether governments can ticket, fine, or possibly jail homeless people who sleep outside in public areas. Now, opponents argue that it violates the 8th Amendment, which prohibits cruel and unusual punishment. One key question, the justice will have to decide whether homelessness is someone's status or their conduct. The ruling is expected in June. Look for the latest on this story on GMS and GMA beginning at 7.
Check this out. This is a new robot helping detect lung cancer early. These are doctors at the Mills Peninsula Medical Center in California. The robot allows doctors to navigate the lungs with a virtual map produced from a CT scan. It also provides a real-time view of the lungs, something that can vastly improve surgeries. Remarkable stuff, and I'm sure this is just the tip of the iceberg.
So many new technologies coming
on the way.
Which is great.
539, 60 degrees.
All right, let's take a look outside right now. We are keeping an eye on TransGuide. And right now, the only thing that's new right now to report is a stalled vehicle at I-10 eastbound at Fresno, as well as I-35 at Walters. But everything else looks good. Just look out for those vehicles.
Good morning. Welcome back. Looking ahead, Battle of Flowers Parade celebrates the history of San Antonio and Texas.
And it's always the second Friday of Fiesta, and for many, it's a school or business holiday.
This year's theme is Viva Amor, and the parade will be led by this year's Grand Marshal, San Antonio Food Bank President and CEO Eric Cooper. Sarah Cosa talked with him ahead of the fun coming up this Friday.
Originally from a small North Texas town, Eric Cooper planted his roots in San Antonio.
My wife and I, we've been married for 33 years, and we have 5 kids, all grew up here in San Antonio. I love our city, and I love our traditions, you know, from our spurs to breakfast tacos to strolls on the Riverwalk. And so when I think of our city, you can't help but think of Fiesta, our need to party. It's been a tradition that my family has embraced and we've loved.
In a city with so much to offer, the man with so much to give fit right in.
I always want to make sure that if someone's struggling, that they connect, that we're here to help.
But he's not just the face of the food bank. After learning his estranged father was living on the streets across the country, fighting hunger became his life's work.
Finding him in that condition just yielded a change in me because he was nourished by a woman that had a catering business, and whatever food she didn't sell, instead of throwing it away, she gave it to the homeless. My dad said he was the beneficiary of her generosity. I could no longer see a stranger on a street corner as not a brother or a sister or a mom. Now, 31 years later, it's really become who I am.
Of course, in Eric Cooper's style and the food bank style, you guys have found a way with you to use the Battle of Flowers also to become a big, beautiful food drive.
In celebration of the 133rd year of Battle of Flowers, they set a goal of 1.33 million pounds of food. Wow. Well, that goal to collect that, leaning on the community for food and funds, I think that in this event, we're just showcasing that we are in community, we are here. Let's all give love. Let's see a little bit of Viva Amor in 2024. Let's collect food for those in our community that might be struggling and feel alone, and just be inclusive. I mean, it's just amazing.
His love for giving, love for food, and love for San Antonio made Eric the perfect representation of this year's parade theme, Viva Amor.
To be a part of that, to be, boy, Grand Marshal is a big title. I hope our city knows that I'm still Jenny from the block, right? It's a privilege for me to represent everyone that's behind us and in front of us. My team from the food bank is excited. Got about 60 employees that'll be a part of the parade. So we'll have one of our chefs on the float, and then we have amazing operations staff from our drivers and warehouse that deliver on the groceries. We want to celebrate really the team, the staff, the board, the volunteers, our donors, everybody that's made the food bank great.
And what better way to celebrate than with Fiesta food?
Are you a chicken on a stick guy?
Man, I am always a chicken on a stick guy. I'm a sausage on a stick guy. If I can get a breakfast taco, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I am happy.
Jenny.
Eric Cooper, great guy. Can't wait to see you coming up on Friday. Yeah. Hey, let's take a look at traffic real quick. We have our first accident of the morning. TxDOT is reporting a vehicle collision, which is minor. This is westbound 410 at Vance Jackson. The unusual thing is it doesn't show any lanes blocked right now, but this call came in around 5:42, so be advised.
Oh, there it is.
And yep, thank you very much. So again, westbound 410 at Vance Jackson. First accident of the day.
All right, we hope you're having a good time this morning, because we are.
We are. Yeah, it's a nice Tuesday so far.
You heard Eric Cooper say he was a chicken on a stick guy?
And a sausage on a stick guy.
And Jenny
I was waiting for him to say if he could put a breakfast taco on a stick, he would eat that too, right?
I mean,
whatever.
Come on.
Everything goes.
That's actually not a bad idea. But I am also a chicken on a stick guy, and I was sitting there this morning when I was thinking about Niosa. I was like, chicken on a stick. Let's make a weather graphic out of it. Nice. I spent way too long on this, but here you go. Here's your Niosa forecast using chicken on a stick. Today will be pretty nice. That's the category I would give it. We'll be in the 70s. That's not bad. This is pretty good for the first night of Niosa. Now, as we get into tomorrow, we're going to put it in the little warm category, which would also be a great name for a hip hop artist. Just saying. Then, as you get into Thursday, we're putting it in the sweating category. As temperatures will get quite a bit warmer, and we'll have more humidity, so that's what you have to look forward to. Nothing that's going to keep people from partying at Niosa, and yeah, that chicken on a stick looks pretty appetizing this morning. Okay, I want to show you a satellite picture. Now, this is a satellite that we use at night, because what it allows us to do is see the morning clouds, because with visible satellite, we have to have daylight, obviously, to see it. So at night, we use a different kind of imagery here to get an idea of where these low clouds are. And you can see they are spreading across the area. So here in San Antonio, we are now overcast, and these clouds are making their way up towards New Braunfels, San Marcos, and Austin. And the question always is, with these morning clouds, how long are they going to stick around? I'd say today probably through about noontime, and then we'll see the sun pop back out later this afternoon. But it is an indication that this number is coming up. Southerly winds at 8 miles per hour is pushing that dew point up into the 50s. We're at 61 right now and cloudy. Today we'll be up around 77 here in San Antonio, 75 Bernie, 78 Bandera. It's a little warmer than yesterday and just a little more humid. And as we look at the long-term forecast here, this is what we have to look forward to. Area of low pressure starts to move in along the west coast by Wednesday. As we get into Thursday, this is going to generate some severe weather, I think, for parts of West Texas and then up into the plains, Kansas, Oklahoma. Dry line sets up, and then that starts to push east a little bit. Could we see some rain out of this? Possibly. Now, if you were to look at this, you're saying, oh, wow, that's a lot of rain there along the dry line. Well, this model is overdoing it. The resolution isn't that great, so it's showing a lot here. It will not be this widespread, but what I think will happen is we'll get some isolated storms along the dry line. How far south these storms form, that is a question, because we'll have a little bit of a cap over the area. But if this dry line can get close enough, I think there is a chance we could see one or two storms. And then if we see a storm, then it could become strong to severe. So that's why we want to watch it. The better risk for severe weather is certainly after our north. That's where a lot of the energy is. We'll be on the tail end of things. But that threat is there, and so we do need to mention it. The dew point trend. Today, dew points start to rise into the upper 50s, so yes, you start to feel the humidity a little bit more, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and beyond, dew points will be in this range, and it will feel plenty warm and sticky during the afternoon. So if you are going out to Fiesta events, later this week. Just, have water with you, sunscreen, all the stuff. With the increase in moisture, we're going to have more drizzle Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures drift into the mid-80s. 84 Friday. There is a 20% chance of a storm. Of course, Battle of Flowers is in the morning, so I think we'll be okay there, but we'll watch. Flambeau, Saturday night, I want to watch that too. There is a 20% chance of storms, and it's that same situation. If we get a storm, could be strong to severe, and that also goes for parts of Sunday morning. Otherwise, just warm and humid. That is kind of the theme going forward. And if you are headed out to Battle of Flowers, Flambeau, have the KSAT weather app with you just in case, and we can alert you if something were to pop up.
All right, very good. I wish there was a chicken on a stick sometime out there right now, because all this talking about it makes me.
Me too. It's a certified breakfast item. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that.
We like your chicken stickometer.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
I love it. It moves.
Yes, well played. Thank you, Justin.
All right, the time right now is at 5:52, 60 degrees outside.
Let's review all your lottery numbers. Pick 3, 814 Fireball H, Daily 4, 1961 Fireball 0. Cash 5, 2, 9, 24, 30, 31. Texas two-step 2, 7, 15, 21 with a bonus ball of 15. Mega is tonight, $202 million. Powerball coming up tomorrow night, now $129 million. Those were last night's numbers. We'll be back.
Good morning. It's great to be with you. Coming up here on a Tuesday, campuses on edge from coast to coast. Some of the nation's leading colleges and universities amid the Israel-Hamas war. With College Commitment Day for high school seniors just over a week away, there's a lot to discuss. And the first witness taking the stand in Donald Trump's hush money trial, the former National Enquirer boss who used to catch and kill tactics to bury negative stories about the former president. And Zendaya, Mike Feist, and Josh O'Connor all here telling us about their new movie Challengers. Plus, we're going to the dogs today. Lots of pups for Adopt on GMA Day. Don't miss it.
Fruits and veggies are filled with all kinds of vitamins and good stuff, but are you also getting an unhealthy serving of pesticides?
12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz tells us which produce Consumer Reports found to be the riskiest.
Crunching and munching on fruits and veggies is good for you. But what about pesticides often used by farmers? Consumer Reports analyzed 7 years of data from the Department of Agriculture, which tests a selection of domestic and imported produce for pesticide residue every year. First, the good news. CR says there's little worry about nearly 2/3 of the 59 conventionally grown fruits and vegetables they looked at. But they found 20% posed a high risk from pesticides.
Produce that proved most problematic, conventionally grown versions of blueberries, bell peppers, potatoes, green beans, kale and mustard greens, and watermelons.
The Alliance for Food and Farming points out that more than 99% of foods tested by the government contain pesticide residue below the EPA's legal limits. Consumer Reports says the USDA's threshold is too high. So what do?
You don't need to totally eliminate higher risk foods from your diet. Remember that the risk, even from the most concerning produce, comes from exposure during vulnerable times, such as pregnancy or early childhood, or from repeated and years-long exposure.
Washing fruits and vegetables is advised, but CR says it doesn't necessarily reduce the risk of pesticides.
For the most problematic produce like green beans and blueberries, they suggest buying organic. Nearly all of the organic produce they looked at had low pesticide risk. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.